If you've ever wanted to create a more cohesive look on Instagram, then this video is for you. My name is Molly Cahill, and I help health and wellness professionals grow their business using Instagram and email marketing. Now, disclaimer, should your Instagram feed be perfect? No. Luckily, gone are the days of the perfectly matchy, perfectly curated feeds. I'm not talking about perfection and having a perfect layout. If that's you, that's your personality, go for it. Take a look at my feed right here. You'll see that mine is definitely not perfect. But branding is so important because you want somebody to see something and know it's from you before they even look at the name. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever been scrolling through Instagram and you're like, I bet that's a post from so-and-so, just because you can tell by the colors and the consistent fonts they use. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. And that's more along the lines of what I'm talking about establishing on Instagram. Having a cohesive brand image is important because it can really help to facilitate that authoritativeness and the trust on Instagram. I would also suggest that you go watch this Instagram live that I did with my friend Sabrina, who is a photographer, on why I recommend having professional brand photography done. Before we dive into the tutorial, I just want to say I'm not a branding expert. I did not go to school for this. I am not a graphic designer. I know enough to be dangerous. Okay. So if you are a professional branding expert and you're watching this and you're saying, I'm doing something wrong, I'm sure I am, but this is for the layperson. And this is the step-by-step process that I use for my Instagram management clients and that I teach inside Holistic Marketing Hub. It's just what I have found to be the easiest way to come up with consistent colors and fonts that you like. Another note, do not stress over perfection. Okay. Every 9 posts or so, your feed looks totally different anyway. I have changed my colors and fonts 4 times in 3 years. So I don't want you to stress over it being the exact shade of green or whatever. Just pick something, roll with it for a while. And if you want to change it, you can. Also, if you already have existing brand colors set up that are in your logo or something like that, and maybe it's just like really limited, maybe you only have one teal and a black, and that's it. And you want to come up with some more colors to incorporate into your Instagram feed. Or maybe you found that the colors that you already have don't translate well to images on your Instagram feed, then this will also be helpful. Meet Annie. Annie is one of my newest Holistic Marketing Hub students, and she has so graciously agreed to be my example today. So I'm just going to walk you through step by step my process. So here's Annie's existing Instagram feed. There's a lot of food, a lot of salads, but no real consistent branding. Now we're on her website, and her website also not a lot of consistent. She's got this gold color. I don't know if this comes through on your screen, but this is really more of a really dark navy. It kind of looks black. If you have existing photos on your Instagram account, then literally you can just go to your Instagram account and find somewhere that's a little more colorful. So let's scroll down to, and also this student has already told me that she really does like the more neutral colors, but I still want to bring in some pops of green since she's a nutritionist. So I'm going to show you how I like to do that. So I'm going to come here and I'm just going to literally take a screenshot, which on Apple is just Shift-Command-4. I can't remember what it is on a PC, but you can Google it. So I'm just going to take a couple. Ooh, this is pretty with these strawberries down here, but it's a little dark photos. Next place I'm going to look is at photos on her blog. So this photo right here kind of has this gold in this pillowcase. So I'm just going to, you know what I'm going to do? And I love this green from these apples. So what I'm going to do again, I'm just going to take another screen grab to where I've got some of this apple green color, and then I've got some of these photo colors as well. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Canva, and I'm just going to create, this is Annie's Canva. It's going to create a new file. I just did Instagram post size. Sometimes I end up making it larger. I'm going to pull in those screenshots that I just took. Once those are loaded, I'm going to pull those over onto this just blank Canva image here, just to where they fit. Doesn't really matter how big they are. And I'm just going to go over here to elements, and I'm going to grab a bunch of circles. Here's what we're going to do next. We're going to click on one of these circles. We're going to go up here to where it's just the automatic gray. And then guess what? It's going to automatically populate all the colors it has pulled out of these photos. So I love this apple green. To me, the apple green is perfect for anybody in nutrition. And then I'm going to click over onto the next gray square. I'm going to pull this gold. I'm just going to do these 2 different golds side by side just to see which one shows up a little better. They're about the same. Which one do you like? 1 or 2? Let me know in the comments. I think I'm going to go with 2 here. So this one, I'm going to, let's find like a pretty neutral. There's a neutral gray. Maybe a neutral kind of taupe. I don't really like that taupey color. Do you? I don't like that. I also like to have a brand white of some sort and a brand black of some sort. And it doesn't have to be stark black. I actually prefer a softer black, but this is a really good start. So the next thing I'm going to do is peruse over here to Pinterest. And this would be fine, just like it is. Like these colors just right here, they could match. But the next thing I'm going to do is go to Pinterest. I'm just going to search color palettes that already have those colors in. So I'm just going to say neutral and green. And I like to use the word hex codes because that'll give you the actual hexadecimal code. If you don't know what a hex code is, just click on here. I'll show you. Click here, click over here on this little plus button. That's a hexadecimal code right there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, so I typed in neutral green color palette hex codes, and I'm just going to kind of look through here and see what I like. So this is pretty here. It doesn't give you the hex code. Then all you have to do is, again, just go do a screen grab, and, just pull it right over in here into Canva. I'm going to go back. So here's another thing you can do. If it doesn't automatically pull up the colors you want down here in the photo picker, you can click on here. Like I said, click on the color part, click on the plus sign, and then click on the eyedropper, and you can pull up the color you want that way. When I'm doing this, I like to just add a whole bunch of colors, and then you can always cull it down and, take off what you end up not liking. Okay, so we've got a preliminary palette here that we can totally play around with. So I'm going to click on this green here and the green again, and then you can go over here where it says add another palette. And then this add and discover palettes also can give you some ideas of color combinations that go together. Type in green, and this is going to pull up all of the green color palettes. And then the last way you can always pull in more colors, and literally just click on here, click here, go here, and you're like, you know what? I think I want more of like a teal in there as well. You can just go like play around and start clicking around until you find a color you really like. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull in some other elements from the mood board. So since she's a nutritionist, we can go over to elements, and I'm just going to type in green apple. I'm really loving this green apple theme. I'm going to do photos. So it just pulls some photos for me. All right, and then I'm just going to go over here to her website and just kind of see what themes I can find. Lifestyle is something that she's got here on her website. She's got smoothies and functional lab testing. So let's look up smoothie. Okay, continuing on the theme, I just typed in gold over here on elements just to see what I could find. Sometimes you can find little cool like smudges like that. You can even sort this by color. So I can click on photos. I can go up here to the filter, and you can filter it by color, which is really cool. So I can go in here, paste in the hex code, and literally find photos just with that color. I've pulled in some photos that I think speak to this brand. You know what? I've decided I'm going to lose this teal color because I don't really like how it's going with everything. And then the last thing we're going to do is pick fonts. So for fonts, one of the easiest things to do is to go over here to styles. And you can toggle over just to fonts if you want. And you can kind of look at some suggested font pairings. The next thing I'm going to show you just real quickly is how to actually set this up in Canva so that it's always there for you. So you're going to need to go back to Canva Home. So go click here, here. So I'm going to click on the screen color first, find the hex code. So there's Annie's color palette. And then I'm just going to go over here to the textiles and add this here. I think it was called Moontime. And then Glacial Indifference. Add a third font if you want. And that is it. You are all set up. So now anytime you go to Canva and you want to create a post in your branding, all you have to do is you're going to go create a design. Let's say we're going to do an Instagram post here. There's so many templates over here if you want to use templates, and then you can just click around and start using your actual color palette and your actual fonts. So don't stray from this. Keep it as consistent as possible. You want to pull in some of those exact elements that you pulled when creating your brand board, then just pull it up on a different tab and you can literally just copy it, come back to the new tab you're working on and paste it, and it'll pull it in for you. Easy as that. Hope this was helpful. And if you create your own mood board and color palette, please tag me on Instagram, and please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so you can get notified every time I post a new video. Happy branding.